June 1st, 1792. Kentucky becomes the 15th state, a step toward manifest destiny, a step away from indigenous sovereignty. June 1st, 1967. The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band drops. The soundtrack of rebellion presses into the mainstream. June 2nd, 1924. Native Americans are handed U.S. citizenship, but denied their rightful autonomy. June 3rd, 1965. Ed White steps into space, and the Cold War empire expands its frontier. June 4th, 1919. The Senate passes the 19th Amendment, but leaves millions of women shackled by race and class. June 5th, 1967. Israel launches a preemptive strike. Borders shift. Sovereignty collapses in 6 days. June 5th, 1968. Robert F. Kennedy falls, and the movement for genuine reform bleeds with him. June 6th, 1944. D-Day, the battle that reshaped Europe but cost millions their sovereign lives. June 7th, 1494. Spain and Portugal carve up the globe. Without the consent of a single soul they claim to govern. History was made in the moments when sovereignty was stripped away, and in the moments when it could have been reclaimed. This is Week 22. Welcome to the Anarchist Archives. June 2nd, 1924. The U.S. grants Native Americans citizenship, not sovereignty, not freedom. It wasn't an offer, it was an ultimatum. Citizenship wasn't meant to empower. It was a tactic to assimilate, to erase nations. But sovereignty isn't something given, it's something claimed. Real resistance would have been a refusal to accept the state's definition of belonging, a reclamation of tribal governance and independent recognition, not folding into a hostile system, but standing sovereign. We are nations. We are not yours to govern. A nation cannot be a citizen of its own conquerors. Freedom on paper means nothing if it comes wrapped in chains. June 4th, 1919. The 19th Amendment clears the Senate, the right to vote, but only for some. White women celebrated. Black and indigenous women remain chained by design. True freedom isn't asking for a seat at their table. It's refusing to legitimize a system that cages you. What if suffrage had been met not with celebration, but refusal? What if they had burned it down instead of begging entry? What if liberation meant building a new system? Without masters, without permission. Freedom shouldn't have been about joining their democracy. It should have been about constructing one rooted in true sovereignty. No rulers, no owners, no submission. June 5th, 1967. Israel launches a preemptive strike, wiping Egypt's air force off the map before a single shot is fired. The 6-day war, swift, brutal, absolute. Borders were redrawn overnight, but not by consent, by conquest. This wasn't defense. This was expansion designed to occupy. Gaza, the West Bank, the Golan Heights, carved up without negotiation, without remorse. Palestine, dismantled and dismembered, occupied under the banner of security. But sovereignty demands not defense. Sovereignty demands defiance. Resistance isn't about negotiation with invaders. It's about the uncompromising rejection of domination. The real history isn't a tale of defense. It's a blueprint of occupation. Palestinians are not fighting for peace. They are fighting for sovereignty, for the right to exist without foreign chains. And sovereignty, once seized, is never politely returned. June 7th, 1494. Spain and Portugal sit down at the Treaty of Tordesillas. What if every sovereign nation in the Americas had refused every treaty, every flag, every proclamation of ownership? What if resistance, total and unrelenting, had been the answer? The true law of sovereignty. You cannot divide what you do not own. How would history have been different if sovereignty had been non-negotiable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Anarchist Archives, where history meets resistance.